If we could live in this moment and just hold it.
Hi there, Virgo. This is your spiritual guidance. This is for the month of November 2024. This is the middle of November, and so therefore this month has already began, and you guys are already in the energy of what November brings. But I'll just inform you guys of what November is all about before I jump into your personalized messages for the month. So everybody's under the Taurus full moon energy. Taurus full moon, it brings up a lot of stubbornness, a lot of slow moving energy, a whole lot of, indecisiveness. But once a final decision is made, it's made. And once a Taurus locks in on something, it's locked and it's forever going to be stuck like that. So that's the type of energy that a Taurus brings in. Maybe stubborn, maybe resisting change, maybe not wanting to follow the status quo. But once something permanently takes place, then that's just what it is. This is an energy that moves through all 12 zodiac signs, and it's not just you guys that's being affected by it or influenced by it. It's everybody being influenced by it and affected by it, since that's what's going on here with this Taurus full moon energy. So just keep that in mind as you are beginning your month and everything is, moving forward and progressing in your life. So for you, this is going to be really short. I don't think it's going to be long. It's pretty straightforward, your messages for this month. So Virgo, I feel like, this is a time when you may have recently had an epiphany, some type of eye-opening experience in your life. You may have recently had some type of moment where you really had to open your eyes and see the truth of a situation or allow reality to sink in. It's very similar to Gemini, this energy, because I remember when I was speaking about Gemini, it kind of sounded similar to that, but this is a little different because you're a different zodiac sign and you're not close to Gemini at all astrologically. But this is the kind of month for you where it's like, okay, your own matters this month. So whatever it is that you've got to do, whatever it is that you've got to, work on, whatever it is that you're involved in, is just like doing your own thing at this time. So that's what I'm getting here. It's like just the focus is for you to be focused on you and not focusing on anything else or anyone else. I think that that's the shift that's happening here and could be the eye opener for you guys in the month of November. So just make sure that you are staying focused on whatever it is that you're being driven to do for your own life. I feel like in your near future, you're going to have to put in a lot of work. In your near future, there's going to be massive changes coming into your life as well, because there has been a shift. And so think about it like this. You're in the middle of the zodiac. So being that you're like in that middle point, the shift happens and hits you, all of the signs in the middle, the hardest. So like really just you and Libra. It hits you and Libra the hardest, this shift, because you guys are sister signs. You guys are sisters to each other, Virgo and then Libra. So what this means is that there's going to be this whirlwind change that happens on an emotional level, mentally, physically, or spiritually, in your lives, because you're sitting at that center. And it means that when some type of shift happens, 9 times out of 10, if something happens to throw off the energy on the zodiac wheel, and being that you guys are in the middle, like as far as like if this were a straight line, then you guys are like in the middle of the line, which means that there is going to be an effect on you. And so if there is an effect on you, it affects other people, like all the other signs. Everybody else pretty much gets affected. So this is an energy where because this change is so great and so massive, because it's so big, it is going to affect a lot of lives. But the good thing about this shift that's happening is that you no longer have to be the person to be the most relied on anymore. You get to take all of the responsibility off of you. You get to not have that pressure on you. You get to remove yourself from situations. You get to take yourself out of the seat. You get to take yourself out of the position, out of the role. You get to remove yourself. And I think that the people that's like everyone else around you get to do the same thing. They all get to leave, get to move, get to go, and it's like a clearing that's happened. Because now what is stabilizing this line, now what is keeping everything in line is something different. And I don't think that it's going to be this way anymore. So the good thing about this is that you get the freedom that you were, wanting, or you get to have some type of like break from it all, and permanently, you know what I mean? Like you get to just release everything. So now it's like, all right, you no longer have that responsibility. You may have other things to think about moving forward. You may have some serious matters coming up as well for some of you. So it could be something really serious or really important that comes out of the blue. It could be something that just hits you out of nowhere, and you may have to deal with it. You may have to face something that you probably were avoiding. I am also getting something about having to come up with an escape plan in a short amount of time. So I don't know which Virgo this is going to affect. It's not going to affect every Virgo, but I'm getting that some of you have to come up with some type of escape plan, escape route, really, 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 really fast. Because something could be coming up, something could be coming towards you, and you have to like quickly hurry, like it's like a scurrying away, or quickly like grabbing things and quickly having to leave, quickly having to remove yourself from a situation. So it's like escaping something, is what I'm getting here. You may have to find some type of place to go, is what I'm getting. I'm also getting something about having to let something go, having to let something or someone go. Endings are inevitable. Like the end it was always going to happen. It was always going to be an inevitable ending. This is something that you couldn't control. It was definitely something that God did, something that God directed for your life. It was something that you just couldn't manipulate. It was something that you couldn't change. It was something that you couldn't do. It was something that you didn't have the power to do. So it's like God just had to come in and force, force this shift to happen where it affects everybody. It's not just you, but it does happen with you and Libra being in the middle of it, being like in the middle of the chaos, pretty much. You guys are at the center of the chaos. And so being that's where it is astrologically, then that's why, right? But it was something that needed to happen. It was something that God had to come in and do, because at the end of the day, when decisions like this are being made, God is already aware how it's going to affect a lot of people, and a lot of people won't be happy about it. Going back to that Taurus full moon energy, this is a stubborn type of energy. This is a resisting. This is a slow moving. This is a delaying type of energy. So if anything happened in your life recently where you felt like you were delayed, or maybe you were the one delaying something or someone or some people, then that's because that's what happens during this full moon energy. Like, you could have made certain things happen, manipulated situations, or some people could have done this toward you. But that's just what's expected. It was it was something like that just was inevitable. Like, it was just, everybody's going through it. Like, I mean, honestly, it's not just you. Full moon energy moves through everyone. Full moons affect everyone. But like I said, it affects you in Libra the strongest because you guys are at the middle of the chaos at this time. So what is happening here is that, God is at the center, but God is not at the center of chaos. God doesn't operate in chaos at all. God loves peace. God does not create wars. God does not go against his own. So with God, God is at the center, but God has something different. It's more like collaboration. It's more like group efforts that are successful. It's more like, when it comes to people under a full moon energy, it's much more positive surrounding God being at the center of such a great change like this for everyone at this time. So, but unfortunately, you guys are on the side of chaos because of where you're placed astrologically. So it's just a lot going on. And so you may feel like, there's just so many changes that are going on, but this whole entire situation is foreseeing. If you haven't experienced this before, then you're experiencing it right now, or maybe you're going to be experiencing this, but this whole entire situation has forced you to accept an ending, or to end or walk away from something, and it's permanent. It's going to be permanent. It's like no more doing something, right? No more doing something, but it, like I said, it isn't something that you could have ever done yourself. It isn't something that you could have ever made happen yourself. It isn't something that you could have ever had the power to do. So don't go blaming yourself. Just understand that when God is involved, things are going to happen that you cannot change, and things that you cannot see. No matter how hard you could be resisting God, no matter how hard you could be challenging things, no matter how hard you could be, because think about Taurus, right? So no matter how bullheaded you could be, or hard-headed you could be, or no matter how, because Taurus, they're all about possessiveness as well. So no matter how possessive you could be about the things that you have or what you own or things like that, no matter how hard you go in that energy, God trumps all of that. So when God trumps something like that, it's just like, okay, well, you're going to be at a loss for words, because is really nothing that can be done to ever change the situation, because you're a human being, right? Like, dealing with God. So that is, of course, that's a no-brainer. That's, so that's why I say just let this happen, because the more you resist it, the worse it gets for you. So don't resist this. This is something that had to end permanently. So the best advice for you for the rest of the month is to plant the seed of a new beginning. Plant the seed of a new template. Go ahead and start. But it's like you're having to start over fresh from ground zero. You're having to go from, like, it seems as if everything you've ever done never happened. That's how it could feel for some of you at this time. It could feel like whatever you have done in your life, whatever accomplishments you've made, however hard you have worked to get certain things, to achieve certain things, or to gain certain things, it's like God just comes in and wipes it all out and takes everything. And when that happens, yes, you have to start from the very bottom. And when that happens, having to start off on a clean, fresh slate, some people want to do it and some people are not ready to do that. Some people resist it. Some people fight to the end of time to not have this happen. But it's something that you just can't control this from happening, is what I'm getting here. You just have to roll with it. And yeah, you're going to have to start over, but not doing the same thing that you were doing before. You're going to have to start over doing something totally different. It's time for a new change. So whether you have been seeking, like, maybe you've been interested in new things, maybe it's time for a totally new career. Maybe you didn't think about it, but maybe I wonder if you ever considered that the type of career that you do have right now may be great. You may love it. You may love what you do. You may feel like that's your talent. But what if this shift is happening to shift you to do something different? Or what if, let's say you have a business or something. What if there's some type of shift that's making you go in a different direction that maybe you didn't think you would be going in, but now God has put you on a different path? Or what if, like, you were living in a certain city and you just love the city and you thought you would never want to leave there, but what if that's not really where God wants you to be? And as much as you may be feeling like, I wasn't thinking that way. I wasn't trying to let it go. I wasn't trying to end it. I wasn't trying to remove myself. I wasn't trying to get rid. But God said it's time. And when it is time to do something, it's meant to be for you to do it. There's going to be no ifs, ands, or buts about it. No questions about it. No second guessing with God. So there is just some type of newness that you're going to have to do. I see a lot of you going in a totally different direction now, making some major life decisions because God has made a major life change for you. So at this point, all you can do is breathe. Because you have to remember that everything that is operating you at this time, Virgo, from all of your mannerisms to all of the things you say, all of the things you think, God is still controlling all of it and can see it, whether it is good or bad. God can still see all of it. And God is still controlling all of it. As much as you think that God doesn't see things because God isn't really looking at you or checking out you, God is not checking people out on social media, right? God is not like coming to peek through your blinds, like, you know what I mean? That's not happening. The kind of power that God has does not have to look at you physically to see you. So what you have to remember is that everything is being seen and always recorded. And right now, according to the recording, I think that you are going to have to escape something really quickly. All right. And that's all I have. God bless.